Yo, what is up guys, and welcome back to a brand new league racing video. This is a brand new season of WOR, and as you can see, round number 1 around Bahrain. Not my strongest track, especially qualifying, but usually we do quite well in the race, so let's see if we can make it into Q2 on a single set of tires, which is always the aim, of course. However, there are 3 people who have already retired from the session, all the Ferrari esports drivers. I reckon they are trying to do the last of first challenge, so we only need to outperform like 2 other people, and then we're into Q2, so this should be our only lap in Q1, as Thomas Gall goes to P1 with a 1:27.349, and I reckon that's gonna be the only .3 we're gonna see in this session. We are not gonna be doing a .3 for sure. Of course, we're preparing for F1 esports, so we're more focused on that than on this league race. Nothing has been announced about F1 esports yet, but I reckon it won't be taking long anymore until there will be an announcement. So I keep seeing in Twitch and on Twitter and YouTube comments, when is there going to be F1 esports? It will be announced soon for sure. I know when we're starting, so I reckon it won't be long until you guys know as well. Into the final sector we go then. It's a 106.257 middle split, and the last sector is around a 0.5, so we're going to be looking at a 0.7 or a 0.8 here if we get a poor last sector. Into the final corner we go, down to 4th gear, and early on the power, use that exit curb, and up to the line, enabling the DRS, and that's going to be a 127.894. Quite poor last sector actually. Didn't get that quite together with P8, and as you can see there, we are easily through with Istvan Pukki, Barry Borman, Nicolas Longe setting no lap time, and then Louis Welsh and Dylan Warren set their lap times on Inters, I think so. Yeah, Philip Prechner is actually gonna knock out Louis Welsh here and to go up to P13. So easily through into Q2 with some people not setting lap times. We're quite far away from P1, of course. As I said, we're focusing on F1 esports, not on league racing at the moment. But we're still going to be trying to get the win, of course. In the race, I reckon we'll be slightly better off than qualifying. So let's see how Q2 is going to go. Jake Benham, our teammate, right ahead of us in P7. This is our first run in Q2, a used set of tires, and yeah, this doesn't mean much, it's just to do some laps, get some practice in, and this, we actually went faster on used tires than on new tires in Q1, so P2 right there as Duncan Hovland goes across the line onto our new set of tires. Now then, we're down in P9, as most people have actually finished the lap already on a new set of tires, so yeah, if we improve, then we should go up a few places, as I missed that apex beautifully. And that definitely cost us around half a tenth, missing that apex. Into the final corner we go. 1.9 tenths up right now. And trying to get that front end turned in nicely. Bit of a wiggle on the exit, but we managed to keep it pointing in the right direction. Across the line we go, and it's only P8. Unfortunately. And a positive to take was that Dylan Warren was only 1.5 tenths on the road, but as I said it, Thomas Gall with another 0.300, and we're gonna have to try and improve here, because if we don't, we're gonna be out in Q2 here, as there's still around 6 cars to cross the line, and at least one of them behind us are gonna improve, and as you can see there in the top left, we have dropped down to P11, make that P12, so we're gonna have to nail this final corner, gain a bit of extra time early on the power, and you can see that we did gain 3/100ths of a second. Across the line we go, and it is P6, 1.110 improvement, purple last sector. We clutched up that last sector, and if we did it, we would have been out. You could see how close it was between us and like P12. You will see that in a second, but I think it was like 300. So if we didn't gain 300s in the final corner, we would have been out. As you can see there, only actually under 300s to Channa Kinsey. You can see Duncan Hovland's lap time, but it was very close. on to Q3 now then. This is our first flying lap of the two. It's a 27.331. And we have another new set of tires after this, of course. 2 new sets of tires, as we only did 1 run in Q1. Lobby will be restarted for the race, so we will have all new fresh tires for the race anyway. Into turn 1 we go. Not a great turn 1. Didn't really get the rotation nicely, and that cost us at least half a tenth. Into turn 4 we go. Important to keep the minimum speed up. Exit isn't very long, but the track falls away a little bit, so if you go wide, then you tend to lose a lot of minimum speed as well. Through the fast chicane, keep hitting 6th gear. It's a 28.311 per sector. Not great, not terrible. Trying to get a rotation now nicely, and that is a good improvement, as you can see there. Over half a tenth improvement as we head into one of the most difficult corners on this track. Trying to get a rotation nicely. Slightly too much understeer there on entry, and as you can see that on the delta, we probably lost around half a tenth there. Into the fast left-hander we go, down to 5th gear. Trying to get a rotation in nicely and then catch the slide on the exit. Thomas Gall goes to provisional pole. We are not fighting for pole here, we are fighting for a top 3 maximum as we go through the final sector. Into the final corner now. A few hundreds lost again in that corner we just went through. So let's see if we can make up some more time in this final corner early on the power. Unfortunately, we got a big slide there, and that cost us an improvement. And it was just a very messy lap altogether. Currently in P4, but our teammate Jake Benham goes in front of us, and the McLaren there goes ahead of us as well from Dylan WOR.
Nearly spun in the last corner.
Bit of a messy last lap for me. I reckon we lost around 2 tenths in total, just with these little mistakes here and there. But that was to be expected without practicing much. So Thomas Gall on pole by quite a margin, as you can see there. And it will be Iker Baena in P2, our teammate Jake Benham in P3, Dylan WOR in P4, Shanaka Clay in P5, and ourselves in P6. And as you can see there, pole position by 1.3 tenths. In the race, I reckon we will be doing a lot better than being 3.3 tenths off the pace per lap. And as you can see there, Thomas Gall just gained a lot in the middle sector to us. 1.3 tenths in the middle sector alone. Then another tenth in the first, and then we just messed up the last sector on that final run. So not ideal. Onto the race we go then. We're going to be starting on the hards, and a lot of other people on the hards as well. You can see Louis Welch on the softs. Thomas Gall on mediums there, but he might be swapping quite late on, like a lot of people do. And yeah, hards. We've got Shanaka Clay on the left of us on the softs, our teammate Jake Benham on softs, and then as far as I can see, the rest of them all on the hards. It's gonna be 5 red lights for the first round of WOR. We got a better start than Shanaka Clay of the line, actually. Unfortunately, that second part of the start wasn't great. We're gonna send it down the inside, but didn't quite want to make it 3 wide, so decided to back out of that one. Bit of wheel spin out of turn 1 on those cold hards, and unfortunately a position loss due to that slide. And we're gonna have a little look down the inside in turn 4. Can't quite pull it off though, as Daniel Kieltsen goes a little bit wide. Don't want to make it too wide in this fast chicane. Daniel left us the space anyway, but yeah, it's a bit risky, because if someone doesn't leave the space, then you spin. On the game at least. In real life, the car on the outside will spin, but the contact model just causes the inside car usually to spin. So into turn 10 we go. Always a little bit of a traffic paradise through there on the opening lap. As we now just try to settle in, not attack Daniel really anymore in the rest of this lap, simply because there are softness in this train, including our teammate Jake Benham. You can see it in the bottom left. Jake is actually pulled off into the distance already, and we don't want to lose touch with those softness, because they can pull us along nicely, and that's why I'm letting Ismail go here at the end of lap 2. He's still gonna have a tire advantage for the coming few laps, so just taking it a little bit chill here. As you can see, Ismail at the end of lap 4 in the distance. We're gonna turn on the overtake button here to go for a move on Daniel into turn 1. with the help of some slipstream, we're gonna send it down the inside and brake as late as we can. Daniel, however, braked even later and even a little bit too late. So that gives us the opportunity to go for a switchback here and turn on the DRS. He has DRS as well, of course, from Ismail, but yeah, we just had slightly more straight line speed, as you could see on the main straight as well. Slightly lower wings, and up to P7 we go again. Started in P6, of course, but Ismail on those softs creeped ahead of us. As actually, I made the same mistake as Daniel here on the previous lap. And went a little bit wide, so used a bit of my ERS to make sure I stayed ahead. And at the end of lap 6, we're gonna go for the move on Ismail again. Of course, his softs are starting to slowly drop, and he's lagging actually a little bit. So I was a bit scared to really run up close behind. But into turn 1 we go, up to P6 again, as Ikerbena up front has a little bit of a slide actually. Top 2, Jake and Chanaka, both on softs, of course. We will be catching them slowly over time again. And as you can see in lap 12, we have called them back up. But they are gonna start pitting from this lap, or maybe next lap actually. One of the McLarens has already boxed, or maybe is it an incident, I don't know actually. As Ismail Fassi boxes at the end of lap 12 for a new set of mediums or hards, both possible of course. I think it's gonna be mediums, as we have a little look down the inside of Tamas into turn 1. Lap 13 now, leaders are boxing there, and we are all still getting DRS, including Ikerbena in P1. Jake and Shanaka for sure both going for softs at the end of lap 13. Yeah, they're going for track position, so are others, as you can see in the bottom right. Ismail Fassi, of course, and then there's an AlphaTauri, Haas, and another car, Alpine, perhaps, Williams. No, that's Ismail Fassi and the Williams, of course. They're all going for track position. End of lap 16, I decided to go for another lap on this set of hards, and we are doing the opposite. We are not choosing for track position. We're going for ultimate pace in the last few laps of the race. So Dylan Warren ahead of us, as I drifted out of turn 1 too. We're going to be boxing here. Dylan, I expected to box as well, but he didn't. And that means we're going to get an undercut on him. I felt like 12 laps on a set of mediums is quite short already. Maybe he's going for softs, I'm not sure actually. But we will see. Jake behind us, 14 seconds ahead of Shanaka Clay, where's the fastest lap of the race, as Jake actually improves on that right there. Now let's see where we will come out. It will be in that second group, which has the Alfa Romeo of Ikerbena leading. As I said, that he actually gets overtaken by Louis Welch as I go a little bit deep in turn 1, just made the apex, and Alvaro swooped around the outside into P16. We're all the way down in P17, but there's still a lot of people ahead of us who need to box. You can see that WOR group of cars going into turn 10. The McLaren, Aston Martin, sorry, not Aston Martin, McLaren, the Ferrari of Nicolas Longe and Barry Bormond, I think so. As there's actually a Ferrari now at the end of midway into lap 19 has boxed, as Alvaro goes for a coffee in turn 10. Yeah, no ideal. Free position for us at least, as we are now behind Louis Welch. We started on softs on the back of the grid, boxed really early, so his tires are pretty much done and dusted already, and we're just gonna sit in the slipstream here, turn on the overtake button, and get ourselves back up to make that P9. And now we are behind Daniel again, who boxed one lap earlier than us, if I remember correctly. So yeah, now we need to get past these 3 cars before we go into the leading train, which is easier said than done, of course, because we only got 1 lap fresher tires. And yeah, in a DRS train it's quite tough to pass those cars who are similar tires. So down the inside we go, Daniel again into turn 1, and I'm actually gonna brake on point this time, as we almost run into the back of Ikerbena. Daniel tries to go for the switchback. We've got that covered off, and up to P8 we go. Everyone has boxed now, so this is our actual position. We need to gain at least 2 more positions in order to get back to where we started. So Let's see if we can get past Iker Baena as soon as possible. End of lap 23. You can see Iker and Tamas both have managed to catch up to Ben Sabo and Istvan Pukki as Iker went for a move there in that kind of double right-hander. Couldn't pull it off, and up to P7 we go, and now we have to get past Ben Sabo, who's on a lot older tires. So let's see if we can pull this off. Slipstream, of course, and as you can see now, he's actually pulling away even though we're really close to him, and that's because he's going for the move on Istvan Pukki, who is flashing. Istvan defends the inside, and Benz around the outside is gonna have more momentum. Istvan gets compromised on the exit there, and that gives us a free pass on the next DRS straight. Was for a brief moment thinking about sending it there, but there's still 5.5 laps to go, and we're still in for the win here, so we have to not get carried away here, making stupid moves. End of lap 24 now. We're looking to get past Ben Sabo here on the straight as Jenna Kinsey is out of the race, and with 5 laps to go, safety car as Iker almost runs into the back of us because I wanted to stick to the delta, and we are gonna box for a new set of softs with 5 laps remaining, and by the end of the safety car there might only be 2 laps remaining, so this is a huge risk, but you can see how many people are boxing for new tires, and this gives us the opportunity to fight for the win even more. I reckon this is the right call to make, and as you can see there, we're coming out in P10, which means we've only lost 2 positions. Or 3. 3 positions, sorry. We were in P7, of course, but we've got a brand new set of softs, which might be around 2 seconds per lap faster. Maybe that's a bit optimistic. 1.5. Maybe 2. I don't know. We're about to find out, because with 3 laps remaining, the safety car is gonna be coming in at the end of this lap, and we've got 9 cars to overtake. 4, including new tires. Shanaka Clay, Ismail Fassi, Ben Sabo and Tamas Gal, all on a new set of softs, and they're not gonna make it easy. 3 laps to go, and you can see it wasn't a great safety car restart from none of the new tire runners, to be honest. I'm not sure why.
Come on, Tamas.
Yeah, I just got caught off guard a little bit by how early they started pushing on that safety car restart. So no positions made yet, and I didn't expect to make any positions anyway at the moment, because we've got Ben Sabo on new tires ahead of us and Tamas Gal on new tires ahead of us, so they kind of have to make the first move. As Ben Sabo sends it down the inside of Will Lewis, and we're gonna set up that switchback nicely. And as you can see there, we're gonna be completely past Will Lewis as we're on way newer tires. Down the inside we go of Ben Sabo into turn 10. We almost overshoot it, and just managed to get it stopped. Tamas Gal, better exit than our teammate Jake Benham, who is on old mediums and trying to keep track position. However, he runs wide and into the side.
Jake, what are you doing, man?
Tamas Gal.
Why do you send it there? Think, man.
And unfortunately, we've lost a very crucial position to Ben Sabo now again. And yeah, he's on new tires, so he's the tough one to overtake. It's not going to be Barry who's going to be tough to overtake. It's going to be Tamas Gal, Ben Sabo, and I think Shanaka Clay was on new tires as well, but I'm not sure anymore, actually. Iker Baena behind us on new softs as well, of course, as Ben Sabo sends it down the inside of Barry Bormand, who started last. Tried to stay out on those used tires, of course, but that's going to be very difficult. Into turn 4 we're going to go. It's going to be 3 wide. Iker is thinking about making it 4 wide, but thinks better of it. We're going to go for the switchback on Barry, and we almost get squeezed, and somehow that did not end in a crash, because that was very, very close. Into turn 9 we go. Or turn 8, I actually don't know which turn this is. It's something between 1 and 10. Ben Sabo ahead of us and behind Shanaka Clay. And Shanaka Clay actually on old mediums as well, so...
Come on, Ben, go for it.
Yeah, I was wrong about that one. Shanaka on all tires as well, and he's going to be struggling keeping Ben Sabo behind. You can see they're both using their ERS, and you can see how much later we can brake compared to Shanika Clay, as both of them are actually touching a little bit through that left-hander. Ben sends it, and this went wrong earlier with Ikerbena. However, we managed to, or Ben's managed to pull it off nicely, but on the switchback and the ERS, we managed to go into P5 here, down the inside of Ben Sabo. Now we've got Jack West on used softs, I think so, behind or ahead of us. Actually, no, those are new softs, if I'm saying that correctly. He was the one who was on new softs as well, I think so. Doesn't matter anyway, we have to overtake him, no matter what. You can see they're all flashing. Ismail Fassi, Thomas Gall, Jack West, all have no ERS
I'm not getting DRS, man.
And unfortunately, we're not getting DRS on the straight, as we were like a tenth behind Jack West on the DRS detection. We're 1.1 second behind, which meant we were not in the 1 second window. However, we still have all the opportunity here. You can see they're battling up front, and I decided to go around the outside in this right-hander. We managed to go completely alongside of the apex, but unfortunately,
Very clean driving as always.
We got squeezed off. We lost the position to Nicolas, who loses his front wing into the double left-hander. We almost lose the front wing as well. And there was a car turned around there, and somehow we've managed to get back up to P4. Back behind Jack West, as Joseph Loke goes around the outside in that left-hander. As now we go on the switchback on Jack West, through the long right-hander, up to P3, back up to the podium we go, as Jack West spins out there.
I don't know.
It's been complete chaos, it's crazy. But can we still win this race though? Joseph Loke and Ismail Fassi going side by side into the final corner. Ismail sends it down the inside. We go for the switchback on both, but unfortunately we just don't have enough ERS remaining, and it's gonna be P3 in the opening round of WOR. And it was so frustrating. We could have won this race, but yeah, just a chaotic few laps after the safety car, just like everyone, I assume. But yeah, just very frustrating that we didn't get away with a win there, as we had a great opportunity. But you know, P3 in such a chaotic race is still a good result. Next week's gonna be Silverstone, not my greatest track, not gonna lie, but we're gonna see how we're gonna do there. Make sure to like and subscribe for more league racing content. Of course, I'm gonna be doing WR all the season, the whole season, unless we miss rounds due to F1 Esports. I don't think we will. And we're gonna be continuing with the Ironman League, of course, one of my favorite, if not my favorite leagues, I think so, to drive in. Hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to like and subscribe. We're gonna be back next week around Silverstone, and see you guys next time. Ciao.
Yeah, I'm